Hey guys, thank you for watching today. And we're going to be having a great topic. And it is actually just about delegation. And it's how to empower other people without micromanaging them. So helping them succeed, helping them achieve. And so here's part of the thing there's what we know as the delegation dilemma. So, what that is, you assign a project to someone and then they don't do it exactly how you would. What do you do? So we got three options that we see people can do, and commonly three options that all of us are doing on a daily basis. Sometimes we might take it back, redo it ourselves. Forget this. I want to do it myself because I'm going to do it better than anyone else. And yeah. Uh, Number two, we can let them figure it out, and even if they struggle. So, we're like, you're smart enough. You can figure it out on your own. Or maybe we're the type that we do option C. It's that's coach and anticipate them, help them refine the process. We do it together with them. And so here's a very interesting thing, a shocking stat. 75% of leaders struggle with delegation, leading to burnout and lack of team growth. So, has there been a time in your life maybe that you've seen like you've handed off a project? So you might be like, I'm a frontline worker, Caleb. What can I do? I don't have these type of situations. Maybe you do. Maybe in your home life, maybe there's a time that you want to do a family trip with someone, and you were like, oh yeah, you planned the trip. And they were like, sure, I got this. And then like the day before the trip, you're like, did you plan it? And they're like, yeah, no. Uh, but we don't want you to have the burnout. We want you to have the excitement. We want you to be thrilled to go with your family on those experiences, even if it is a family trip that maybe is having the issue. We want you to be able to perform, to do great, and to have excellence and to enjoy every day of your life. That's what we're here for. And I'm going to share with you the techniques on how to skip that. So here's a question. Have you ever had a task delegated to you poorly? What happened? So, what I love to do is I love to look back. What's the times that I've been delegated something poorly, or I was told to do something and it was a poor experience. And then what I do is I can analyze and say, okay, where was the issue? Where was I personally the issue? Maybe where was the boss in the issue on this? But also another option, a great option that I like, is looking and saying, okay, where could I see myself doing just what the boss did, and how could I tweak that and improve it? So, example, I was hired somewhere, a great place. The boss was really friendly, very warm, family friend, and he was like, "Hey, you're hired, so I want you to go ahead and sit in the sales manager office and just learn about the company." And I failed to ask the quality questions of leadership of the boss of saying, "Hey, what questions should I be asking? How long do you want me to stay there?" The boss, he said, "Go to the sales manager's office." Then he left the building, and after like an hour and a half, I was like, "Dude, like, I don't know what to do." No one knew what I was doing there, and so it was a lot of confusion. I did end up working there, and so something that was really cool is I can analyze and say, okay, where is it that maybe I'm delegating poorly to someone, maybe not helping them achieve their best because I'm not giving them the property input that they need. So here's a quick story. That was it right there. You guys got to hear about one of the times that with my job situation, I had something. There's been times in Pink Power that we've been able to delegate amazingly well, and it's awesome to see the things happening. Something I think that's really awesome is that with delegation, you're going to find out systems, process, and procedures that help you succeed and help your people with you succeed. So even if it's in home life, for example, it could be every day your alarm clock goes off Monday through Friday at a specific time. That right there is a great way of having track and having to see how to make things great. So delegation is not just handing off work, it's transferring ownership and responsibility while maintaining accountability. You might be like, what was that again? So delegation is not just handing it off, but it's also you get to transfer the ownership and responsibility, and then you get to hold them accountable because they understand the times and the deadlines and the different things that want to happen. So I'm going to talk through right now the three different levels of delegation. So there is the task delegation, which is the beginner stage. That means it's simply leader does all the thinking and assigns a simple task. The team members execute, but they don't own the outcome. So again, the problem with this one is the leader still owns all the decision making and gets overwhelmed. So you don't want to be in the spot. You want to move through the thing to where you can assign, delegate, get other people to do it, and have them owning the ownership of it. So this happens when leaders, we assign things as a one-time task over and over rather than letting the person realize that this is probably something that's going to be repeated every week. Set reminders and letting them know how to own it, so that way they can report to you and say, hey, I did this week, look at the results. So we want people to be able to own it. So level 2, it's stepping it up a notch, and it's called the responsibility delegation, the growth stage. Leaders assign ownership of a function and not just the stakes, just not the leaders assign ownership of a function, not just a task. Team members begin making decisions, but check in for guidance. So this is a much healthier thing. So, at this point, you're able to assign ownership. They're able to do it on their own, and then they check in repeatedly for guidance. So, for example, last night I delegated for one of my sons to build a grill in the back lawn. And what was really awesome is that he took personal ownership of it. He understood how to do a lot of it. He was reading the manuals. He's a very thorough, very studious son and student. And so he was able to follow through with it. And just every now and then I would go outside and be like, okay, hey, do you need help with this? Do you need help with that? And there was actually one time only that he needed help doing it. It was because he was picking up a heavy item, and it was something that had to set on top of the frame. And, we need that extra guidance. We need the extra people there just to help it do better. So I called out the wife so all of us could be on a corner, and it sure was great. And he was taking ownership of the function, not just the task, but he was owning building the grill. And so the cool thing is we want to transition leaders from telling others how to do stuff to coaching and providing resources. So, for example, my son, he was building the grill, and I could see that, I know this tool that's really going to help him. I could go ahead and I was able to bring out that special tool to help him. It was a small difference. Both were Phillips screwdrivers, but one had a head that was better for him. And so, that's a cool thing about it, is that you transfer from you owning everything, you task basing them. That's the level 1, to where you assign them just one small thing here, come back, report, to then you get to tell and coach them how to do better. And again, there's ways that all of us can do this. So, a task-based thing, if you're like, man, all I got is my equipment, my vehicle, and like, how am I going to delegate this and do this? Well, a cool thing is, sometimes in your vehicles, there's specific areas that can hold certain items and certain tools in a better method than maybe something else fitting there. So a simple way on that is you go ahead and you've already decided to put that tool in that spot so it holds it really good, so it's there when you need it and it doesn't flop around everywhere. So, so another way that we can do this is an example of giving a team member ownership of setting a schedule, but there are still tools or permissions that they don't feel confident in. So that's a level 2. Level 3 is ownership delegation. So we're delegating the entire thing over to them, and it's where we give them full ownership of an area with clear expectations. And the team members solve the problem without constant approval. So it's really awesome. It can be one of those things that you're like, hey, let's go ahead and test out this new marketing thing. Or, maybe for you guys, it's, will you test out and report back to me? Have it to where they take ownership of, they get to make the decision of the new thing that the company could do, even in that just micro area. And the cool thing is there's ways for us to test this all the time in lots of scenarios of making success, because we understand how to do stuff, and team members solve the problem without constant approval. So, they're achieving the stuff, they're getting the stuff done because they understand what to do and how to clearly do it. So the outcome is the business grows without a bottleneck, and leaders focus on high impact work. So something that we love is that with Pink Power Cleaning, Pink Power Brands, Pink Power Pest Control, is that we are a top rated company in Dayton, Ohio, providing excellent service for people, helping people enjoy the gift of a clean space. So we provide spaces that are free of pests and clean spaces. So whether you have a business, office, a home, or a warehouse, Pink Power comes in. We take care of the cleaning and pest control for you in the Dayton area. We're one of the top rated. We're the best pest control cleaning company in Dayton, Ohio. We service from Sydney, Ohio. It's up here, Sydney, Ohio, to Springboro, Ohio, and all areas in between. So if you have a home in Tip City, Ohio, you have a place in Troy, Ohio, you have a place in Huber Heights, Ohio, or maybe a little bit further south in Oakwood, Ohio, we are the best cleaning provider in Oakwood, Ohio, and we are excellent on our ratings on Google. You can check us out. So the next thing that we have with the leadership is, where do you think your delegation skills may fall? What I'd love for you to do is go ahead and message me, Caleb@pinkpowerclean.com, Caleb@pinkpowerbrands.com, or Caleb@pinkpower.com. And you can also message me through our group Slack. You can message me in the private office channel. And so here's some of the things that you're going to think about. Discuss, why do you hesitate? Why do we hesitate to hand off things? Is it the lack of trust? Fear of mistakes that others can make? Maybe it's fear of mistakes that we can make. The more we can think about these, decide why, what drives us, how we can improve, how we can do better. It's going to be amazing. And then also, what's one task or responsibility you could delegate this week? Something I really love is that, that grill. I just thought of it yesterday, I could delegate this to my son, and he's running with it. He's doing good. He's getting it built. It looks like it's going to be a really solid grill. It's going to be awesome. And what's the difference between delegating the task and delegating ownership? What's a common mistake leaders make when handling the releasing of the responsibility? So we got some action items for you. So this is talking about the art of delegating well. And so with delegating well, there are 5 key effective delegation things. And I'm going to go ahead and walk you through them. You're going to define the outcome clearly. And so what does success look like? Next up, you're going to match the task to the right person. So consider their skills, their strengths, and growth potential. You're going to give necessary tools and training, and you're going to empower them, but don't abandon them. So you're still going to be with them a little bit, and you're going to set checkpoints, not chains. And then you're going to create a feedback loop. So those processes, again, you want to have the right person in the right place, give necessary tools and training, set checkpoints, create feedback loop, and you're going to also know what it looks like in the end of regular feedback. So it's kind of cool, as we do these things, as we're implementing them, we can go ahead and we can identify key responsibilities to delegate this week. And so we can set an outcome, timeline, check-in process. We can do all that. And what I think is really awesome is that it doesn't matter what role that we're playing. There's still the ways that we can do this. So, sometimes maybe it's one of those things as a trainer, you can be training someone and you can be testing this out. Or maybe it's one of those things that, someone that's through training, you have that relationship with someone, and you could be like, oh, could you go ahead and test out this for me? And that might be a way to reintroduce them to something that maybe they could have been taught a little bit differently of how to effectively do that action, simply because, we thought of different ways to delegate, different ways to ask questions to make them feel valued, that help them enjoy the gift of learning how to do better in life. And sometimes maybe it's one of those things that, simply you're talking with someone else and you say, hey, do you have any input for me? That's a way of sometimes creating a little bit of delegation, is just asking others, how can I improve? How can I do better? So what we want you to do is, you're going to be leading through trust, is what leadership is. And here's an interesting thought, and I'm going to let you guys guess where it's from. If you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. Again, so if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's an African proverb. And, it's so true. It's so amazing that, if we want to just be able to take off in a certain direction, we can go off on alone. But if you want to go far, if you can get people on your side doing stuff together that makes excellence and makes success, then that will help you excel and do so much better. So a final reflection is, what's one small delegation step you can take this week to empower your team? again. So what I love is that our team's always defined by, there's a myriad of things. It could be even at home, it could be in the office, it could be, just different ways to delegate, how to empower people, how to help them succeed, other people that you know. And I want you guys to go ahead, share with me, Caleb at pinkpower.com, drop it in the office chat, an action step. So a commitment that that we can help hold each other accountable. I'll share some action steps with you guys. We're going through these videos together. And so, one thing for me is with that grill, I had to make that action step to commit to letting him do it, letting him build it and succeed, and to where I just get to coach and mentor and watch the accountability of him doing the stuff that he can create the success. So it doesn't matter if you're in business or in your private life, there are amazing ways that we can implement all these steps, because how we treat one person is how we treat another. Life is connected. So next up, we got creating a peer-to-peer leadership culture. So this will be an exciting one. But coming up Monday is creating a peer-to-peer leadership culture. Thank you guys for watching. Caleb Pierce, Pink Power, and enjoy your day.